This is a news story from The Guardian. Nearly all immigrants detained in Trump Chicago raid had no criminal conviction. More than 97% of the people detained over the last few months as a part of Trump's Operation Midway Blitz had no criminal conviction. I think it's 2.6% of these people had criminal convictions or pending charges. Trump said that he wanted to target illegal immigrant criminals after ICE has left the city for Charlotte. We can see now that data says that less than 3% of these immigrants that were detained had no criminal convictions, no criminal history. This data was released yesterday and reported by the Chicago Tribune. Quote, but the government's own data provided in a filing posted to the public docket Friday appeared to show otherwise. Of the 16 arrestees with criminal histories, or about 2.6% of the 614 people, 5 had domestic battery charges or convictions, 2 were related to drunk driving, 1 allegedly for unidentified criminal history in a different country, 1 person was deemed a national security risk, another had a narcotics conviction, 5 more had been accused of various forms of battery, 2 involving guns, the records indicated. None had any convictions for murder or rape. So this list of data is for people arrested before October 7th. There's a bigger list of more than 3,300 detainees, which we've talked about before. A lot of these people have been arrested unlawfully. There's a judge that's still making a decision on whether or not to release a lot of these people. A federal U.S. district judge also called into question the apartment raid that happened in the South Shore neighborhood of Chicago in late September. This is one where they used helicopters. They actually raided an apartment building, took a bunch of people out, they zip-tied them, including some kids. They were looking for members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. From ProPublica about that raid, of the 21 Venezuelans that they arrested, there were 18 that had no criminal convictions. 3 were charged with offenses ranging from drug possession to battery, but apparently in each of those cases, charges were dropped. So, from the Guardian article, the DHS Assistant Secretary, Tricia McLaughlin, said the Chicago data is misleading. She said that 70% of immigrants they've detained nationally have had criminal convictions or at least pending charges. But the figure, I guess, is closer to 64% and represents a lot of Biden's time in office. Those with no criminal record or pending charges accounted for 6% when Biden was president, whereas right now, in just this little cohort of 614, 97%. Here's a graph from The Guardian showing when the Trump admin took over. It's that vertical line there. Then you can see the red line. That's those with no criminal convictions, which has risen sharply since Trump took office. You can see here that detainees without convictions or pending charges outnumber those with pending charges and those with criminal convictions. From the DHS website, they claim that they're making America safe again. This is from a few days ago. Given the pattern of arresting people who are literally on the job, paving a driveway, or landscaping, or working daycare, detaining citizens, asking citizens for identification, judges set to potentially release hundreds, maybe even thousands of detainees, kind of looks like ICE and Trump need to start providing data to back up the operations that they're carrying out. So we'll see what happens if the judge decides to release many of these people who have been detained unlawfully in the last couple of months, and how many more they're going to arrest throughout the country, where it follows the same story. Arrest a bunch of people, say that they're criminals. Later on, there's a lawsuit. They look into it, and almost 100% of them have no criminal convictions. Anyway, that's it. Thank you.